to the show because we got news. We got action. Zach LaVine is actually out tonight in the game against the OKC Thunder as the Bulls start off their 4-game road stretch. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, we are in the building. We got breaking news. We don't usually get it this close to game time. Chicago Bulls have announced that Zach LaVine is out of tonight's game with a right foot soreness. Considering it's a long road stretch, maybe they just wanted to go ahead and sit him out to start off this road stretch. I know some people are already going to get to saying, hey, well, maybe he's sitting out because the trade is imminent. Trade is not imminent. Don't even worry about it. Don't get your hopes up with that one. It's not coming. But with that said, at the end of the day, the Bulls going to be without Zach LaVine tonight. Now, one could say that Zach LaVine hasn't been taking a lot of shots for the Bulls, even though he's been doing some other things. But, so we'll see. Kobe White may step up into a larger scoring role for the Chicago Bulls, right along with DeMar DeRozan. We'll see what that starting lineup is going to be as soon as they announce it. They usually announce about at first it was 30 minutes before game time. Now it's probably going to be more like maybe like 20, 25 minutes before game time. So we'll see what that ends up looking like for the Chicago Bulls. But hey, listen, it's very, very interesting that Zach LaVine is out in this game. Like I said, even before I go to the comments, no, this does not mean the trade is imminent. Trade is not imminent for Zach LaVine. It's not going to happen. It has nothing to do with that. So just keep it focused. Let's keep it realistic. But hey, the Bulls still, regardless if Zach LaVine is there or not, the game plan doesn't change much for the Bulls. And I don't mean that as a slight to Zach LaVine because that's not how I mean it at all. It's just simple. The Bulls need to take care of business. You got to execute on offense and defense, take effective shots, get that effective field goal percentage up some, play solid defense enough. Hopefully now you're going to keep that energy a little bit more consistent. You cannot keep relying on your bench unit to set the tone in every single game. The Bulls have been doing that every game so far this season. And so they can't continue to allow that if they're going to want to turn this thing around, start winning some basketball games. Now, one could say, I don't really think much is going to turn around for the Bulls until the Zach LaVine trade is finalized. But there you go with that one. Let's see who we got. We got Albert in the building, says reported right foot soreness. Yep. Brian says traded. Nope, that's not the case, bro. Not the case. Wonder who's starting in his place. Listen, they may. That's going to be interesting because what they may do is move AC to either the point or the shooting guard. Really doesn't matter if him and Kobe White are both out there, and then start either Torrey Craig or P. Will at the 4. That's probably the most likely scenario, in my opinion. So yeah, there you look out for that to probably be the case. I would feel safe in saying that. They may even maybe keep Caruso at the 4, move Kobe to the 2, start Javon Carter at the 1. It's a couple of different options. Last time we were missing DeMar DeRozan, Ayo Dosunmu stepped in there in the starting lineup. But considering it's Zach now, you may need a little bit more of a scoring punch. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. We'll see. Nate GTV in the building says, salute, Haize. What's going on, Nate? Glad to have you in the building. Which young fella do you see? Do you think will step up? I mean, listen, it depends on what Billy Donovan, who's going to be the starting lineup, right? So, like I said, don't be surprised if AC kind of just moves up and then maybe you get Torrey Craig or P. Will in that starting lineup. That may be the likely scenario there. What's going on, Reaper Gaming? Glad to have you in the building. Jack Holland is also in the building. Says Zach LaVine or not, we got to get this dub. Do not expect that. Listen, you guys may have picked up on it or not. I don't have a lot of faith in this current Chicago Bulls situation to turn it around, only because there's so much things going on right now. Our offense is god-awful, right? The defense is the top 10 defense in the league. No surprise there too much. But we haven't been shooting the ball effectively. The energy seems low all across the team most times out of games. Coaching's bad. So I really don't have a lot of hope for the Bulls turning it around, but we'll see. We'll see. Will Curry says, how important is P. Will and Ayo's play tonight? Listen, they have big roles for this team coming off the bench, regardless, even before Zach went down. We need them to play better. We just do. We also need DeMar and Vooch to step up tonight. They need to, for sure. I mean, listen, you need all that core 3 group of players stepping up someone when they're all available and healthy. Jay Lee says more right. Wow. Zach LaVine is officially out of this game with a uterus injury. My thoughts are the Bulls have been trying to trade Zach for a while, and they didn't get what they wanted. Now he's frustrated, so he's demanding the trade, and AK is stuck. No, that's not the case. And that's why, like I always say, as sports fans, we men really do make sports their soap operas. This situation with Zach LaVine is one of the more straightforward situations. No, the Bulls have not been shopping Zach LaVine and trying to trade him. They actually have been turning down trade calls. They haven't made any on him for a while. For about a year and a half, they've been turning down all trade calls. They've listened to deals, but they've turned them down. Zach LaVine is simply frustrated by the fact that this roster is not winning. He doesn't like Billy Donovan, and he doesn't see the winning at the end of the tunnel with how this team has been operating. That's it. There's no mystery to it. There's no conspiracy theory to it. There's none of that. This is a very straightforward situation with Zach and the Chicago Bulls. Very straightforward. Why do I get the feeling we'll be better without Zach on the floor? Listen, I'll tell you this. If that does happen, let's just say it does. I don't think it'll happen, but if the Bulls just look like a better team without Zach LaVine on the floor, that'll be telling. That'll be telling, especially against a team that we got our ass kicked to start the season off, and it sent us into a players-only meeting after one game. Zay Over says, we get a chance to see what this team would look like if the ball hog Zach is out. Zach is not a ball hog. Like that's what I mean by people really come in with preconceived notions, and really it's like they haven't watched a single game. The one thing, if we can say anything with Zach this season, is that he needs to shoot more. Ball hog has not been the case with Zach LaVine. It hasn't been for quite a while. Like that's an idiotic actual statement when it comes to Zach. Like there's plenty of critique that you can make about Zach LaVine's game. Ball hog, he has not been. He has not been, and not been in quite a while. Early in his career, you can maybe say that, but look at what he was playing with. He's supposed to be passing the ball to Cristiano Felicio. Is that what he was supposed to be doing? Come on, man. Y'all gotta chill on that one. Reaper Gaming says, do you think we could beat the OKC Thunder? Do I think we can? Yeah, but I don't have faith that we will until we out there executing it on the court. I'm a huge Zach fan, but I can't wait for December 15th. Casey Johnson reported that Zach's value is limited. What do you think? Actually, I have a whole video of that on The Truth. So there you go. There's a whole video on that, on my thoughts on it. It's only a 7-minute video. You can watch it right after this. Key to the game, don't get blown out by 20 plus in the first quarter. In the first quarter, much less anything else, right? That's crazy. Shentel says, exactly. That's the point. He's tired of losing. It's, like I said, it's a really simple thing. It's a real simple thing. It's not a bunch of craziness to the Zach LaVine situation. It's pretty damn straightforward. Spoken like a true second option. Who, Zach? Yeah, I mean, listen. And the people say that like it's a slight. Being a second option in the NBA is still rare. Like, yes, he's at best in the optimal, he's a second option. But let's not make no mistake about it that that's still not an amazing place to be in the NBA. Could this be Zach being out because the trade is close to happening? No, I actually addressed that at the start and opening of the show. This is not a trade for Zach LaVine is not imminent at any point in time. Not yet. Quantrail says, do you think Zach becomes the two-way player we all know he could be on another squad? I mean, it depends. I think that coaching matters a lot with the effort that players give, right? There are certain coaches that just get more out of players. And so I do think that could happen, especially if he goes to a team where he's winning, where he doesn't need to focus on scoring as much, right? I definitely think that could be the case, potentially. So Juan Miller also chips in. What's your thoughts with Kobe at the 2? I mean, listen, Kobe's a flawed player anywhere that he plays, right? He has his limitations of what it is, but I do think Kobe is more of a scorer than anything else. And so you put the ball in his hand and kind of let him do his thing. I think that could benefit Kobe a lot as well. I want whoever starts to show some pride and showcase their talent without Zach. I mean, facts. People need to showcase their talent anyway. We're going to see how Billy Trash offense is ideally supposed to look tonight. I don't know what you mean by that, because Billy's offense is at best when it has a ball dominant guard. That's just how Billy's offense has always been best with that since he's been in the NBA. College was a little bit different, but that's always been Billy's thing. We haven't even played 20 games, and I'm already ready for next season, shaking my head. Listen, I know I said it on every episode lately. We got 67 games left. And it really feels like it's tough. Like where we are right now sucks that we're here at this early point in the season. It's a regular season game. Anyone could win. Yeah, anyone could win. That's in any game, period. Shea about to kill us again. I went to the first game of the season, and watching Shea was a masterclass. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be an MVP at some point in his career. Haize, I went to YouTube on my phone to like all your videos. For like 10 videos, I was the 290th like, even on video from 4 months ago, and your player reviews weird. I mean, I don't think that that's the case. Can't be the case, because like I don't have 200 likes on any video. Looking at it, most recent one, 91 likes, 139 likes, 108 likes, 53 likes, 170 likes, 140 likes, 117. I don't have 290 on any video, unless it's like a 17,000 viewed video. So I don't know where you're seeing that at, unless YouTube's tripping again. I watched old Access videos when Ball Brothers went against each other and went on an 8-game winning streak. I watched the whole video thinking, damn, we went from that to almost blowing it up. I mean, listen, that's the way the cookie crumbles in the NBA. This opens the door for one of the young boys to get some shine. Yeah, it does. We'll see if it happens, right? And shine doesn't always mean scoring a lot. As fans, we want to trade players based on the fact that they show emotion. If Zach didn't, then as fans, we would have a problem with that. Team needs to get their act together. They can compete. I mean, listen, this team has glaring flaws, and I don't want to act like they don't. This team, I love the Chicago Bulls. You guys know I'm a Bulls fan. That's why I do this. But to act like this team doesn't have flaws, we'd be missing. So, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to trade Zach just because he showed some emotion. I think where we are. And I mean, you got to recognize where you are, regardless of showing emotion or not. This team is in a place right now where a change is needed. And unfortunately, it seems like the only thing that's going to cause that change is basically Zach LaVine asking for a trade. Method Man ED says OKC is one of the best teams in the West. So much talent, so deep, and to look at the draft picks they have coming in for the next few years. Right, keep in mind they're going to be having to cut players that were drafted in either the low first round to just make room for the new players that they're drafting in. Like the Thunder are sitting in a place right now where they're going to have their choice of young talent. And if they did want to make a move for a superstar, they can. Let's just go over it. They have 3 first-round picks in 2024. They have 5 first-round picks in 2025. They have 5 first-round picks in 2026. They have 3 first-round picks in 2027, 2 in 2028, and 2 in 2029. The OKC Thunder will have multiple first-round picks every year for the next 6 drafts. That's bananas. The amount of draft capital they've been able to accumulate over an amount of time. I'm not watching this bullshit. You'll be watching. You'll be cussing everyone out shortly. Do you think Coby White will have a breakout season this season? I mean, we talked about that. I think breakout doesn't necessarily mean he's going to average the most points per game or anything like that. But I think in the way his growth overall as a basketball player, yeah, I definitely think that's the case. What's up, Haize? I need everybody to lay off moving Coby from point guard. I really believe this is a good year to give him a full shot. Look, Duke, I've been right there with you. When people have been saying, hey, let's sit Coby, I'm like, no, you want Coby to go through these growing pains. He has to learn the position, and it's going to be some growth and some bad times through it. You have to allow him to grow through it for sure. Went to the opener to SGA's Too Nice, and it's just fluid when it comes to SGA. He just really makes it look so easy. Will we see Patrick Williams and Craig play extended minutes together, since they both are solid, good defenders on the court with Caruso and White? I don't know. But listen, this is a Billy Donovan coach team. I can say all day long that it makes sense to play them together some, right? And we've seen them together a little bit. But like Billy Donovan looks at lineups completely different than how regular humans look at lineups. The fact that we haven't seen Javon Carter and Torrey Craig out there with the core 3 players all together, that as a 5-man unit at all, right? It's bananas, because that is the unit that most people thought we would see with them being the new acquisitions. Billy Donovan doesn't look at basketball the way that every other regular human in the world looks at basketball. He doesn't. I don't know what he has going on in his head up there, but I can tell you what, it's nonsense. Like, it just is what it is. So I can't even predict anything to happen with a Billy Donovan coach team. I was so excited all summer for this season. Can't believe this is where we are this early, right? If somebody would have said, hey, you're going to get to a place this season where all hope is going to seem lost, and you're going to be looking to trade one of the core 3, I would have said, yeah, that could happen by the trade deadline. I wouldn't say that would have happened 3 weeks into the season. That's crazy. laughing my ass off. I got a season ticket package and I picked the worst possible year to do it. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. If Zach LaVine trade happens, depending on winning the season, will the team keep losing and shoot up the lottery board or fall right outside the play-in? It depends on what you get back for Zach. It really comes back to what you get back for Zach LaVine and then the subsequent moves after that, if they make subsequent moves after that, right? What's up, Haize? I was thinking Zach for Klay Thompson trade. What y'all? No, why the fuck? Klay Thompson is washed. Klay Thompson is a carcass right now. And it's not like the Golden State Warriors have amazing first round picks. No, keep Klay Thompson up off my team. I didn't really like to hear AK explain why they didn't bring Pat Bev back. He had his flaws, but the Bulls did play better with him. Well, it's not just about playing better with him. I mean, they also had to look at Kobe, right? And if they really did think, hey, Kobe White is we want Kobe White to grow in this point guard role, it is what it is. And I think people forget too, we got a better Javon Carter is a better player than Pat Bev. He just is. Now, Billy Donovan hasn't been playing him a lot of minutes. Again, that goes back to the Billy Donovan isms, but it is what it is. Stages says, Chicago Bulls Central, is there any chance we trade Zach for Cam Thomas? No. I wish there was. Do not get me wrong, but no, they are not giving up Cam Thomas for Zach LaVine. And if I'm wrong, I will sing to the mountaintops. Hey, bro, hopefully we don't get blown out today. Not sure what to expect. How do you think this game plays out? I don't predict wins and losses. Here's what I'll say. If the Chicago Bulls come in still bullshitting, it's going to be a long night. That's just is what it is. It's going to be a long ass night. Steve says, no, he's not. He's taking a mental. It's funny you say, because I actually was going to ask you to do the halftime hangout for me today. So, yeah, you may get drafted into watching this game, big fella. Got a little bro him real quick. I love the Bulls. I love the Bulls. The Bulls still the GOAT, in my opinion. Always will be. C Red. Listen, and that's the thing. I'm never going to be another fan of a team other than the Chicago Bulls. But it sucks because I want to also see my team win. So it's like, this is where we sit right now. This is crazy, bro. It sucks that this is where we've gotten to this early in the season. It just sucks. Let's see what else we got. Think we're going to see Julian Phillips? I mean, I think the last time that we had, when DeMar was out, we saw Julian Phillips get in, I think in the second quarter. So there's a possibility of that. Definitely a possibility. We got Frederick in the building. Frederick says, I'm a diehard Bulls fan since birth. Time for Zach to go. Billy Donovan should have started Craig and Carter, play Drummond more. Listen, Billy Donovan also needs to go. The Zach LaVine part of it, I mean, he's going to be traded. Like, I know some people are still holding out hope. It's not happening. What's good, little bro? Not gonna lie, I dislike this trade shit. It's consuming me from speaking on how to get on a win streak. Listen, I get you, bro. Like at this point, and this is why people will tell you, my first year in starting this show, that first year leading up to the trade deadline, that's after Lonzo Ball had went down and everybody was just like, the Bulls need this. We need that. We got to trade this player. Kobe White's going to be moved. There's no way they hold on to Kobe White. And it got to a point where I literally had to tell people, I am not reading any comments in regards to the goddamn trade. Because it does get overwhelming. And then you get these people who think they're the smartest person in the room and come up with these trades. See, this is how the Chicago Bulls can get Jesus on their team. If they just move this here, they'll be crazy not to trade Jesus to us. It'll be like, if you got to go through that many permutations to make something happen, you're smoking rock, my friend. You're smoking rock. So yeah, listen, this is the part of the job that I love at the same time because I know fans are excited. I know they love being involved. I know fans of the Chicago Bulls are going to love coming up with the trade machine and whatever else is going to get them what they think is the best deal for the Chicago Bulls. But in reality, it's not whatever deal you come up with, it's not happening. It's not happening. Would you trade Zach LaVine for Brandon Ingram straight up if you could? Considering the situation, you guys know I'm already somebody high on Brandon Ingram. I'd entertain it. Is Brandon Ingram going to stay healthy, right? Because that's another thing. Are the Bulls going to be willing to take another injury concern, right? So we'll see. We got Wavehead Tie 4 says, I don't even have it in me to watch this game, but I'm going to push through. That's funny. I feel that. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in every time. No, seriously, bro, if you don't want to watch the game, you got to worry about the halftime hangout. It's not a big deal, bro. I can knock out the halftime hangout. I remember the video where you said, "Don't ask me about another trade." I was so happy when the trade deadline. But listen, and the Bulls didn't do shit. Like that was the thing. It was everybody. I remember I got into an argument. It was one of the first time I flamed somebody in the comments, and they were just like, "Are you crazy? There's no way they don't trade Kobe White at the trade deadline. We're gonna trade Kobe White. We're gonna get Jeremy Grant. We're gonna trade Kobe White. We're gonna get Miles Turner. We're gonna get." I'm like, it's not happening, my guy. It's not happening. And I don't think that dude has come back since I flamed him, and then it ended up being true that the Bulls didn't make any trades. The more I think about it, I'm starting to realize Giddey may be available. Not sure what the trade looks like, but the Thunder can compete with, and the Bulls get a potential future guy with the Haize deal. Listen, I don't think that the OKC Thunder are so young that I think they want that core to develop together. I don't see it happening. On top of that, like you got to think the Giddey's contract doesn't even come close to matching the OKC Thunder. So they would have to literally, and Thunder don't have a lot of big contracts. They have a lot of, much like we were a couple years ago. They got Shea, and then it's a few 17, 15, $10 million contracts, and then it's a lot of 7 and 6s and 4s. So for the Thunder to get up to Zach LaVine's contract, keep in mind, unless they're going to be including either Bertans, Lou Dort, or Chet Holmgren, that means they would have to include like 5 players to match up Zach LaVine's money. The Bulls only have one open roster spot other than the spot that will come open trading Zach LaVine. It's just not a feasible deal unless they get a third team involved. But even then, that third team would have to have a considerable amount of players open to be able to absorb. So the OKC Thunder Zach LaVine trade rumors, it's not close to really being feasible with the size of Zach LaVine's contract when you get into the nitty gritty of it. Man, I agree with you so much. I would like to pick your brain on the way out of this shit. Remember what LA did after the trade deadline? They went to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, and listen, they cooked at the trade deadline. The thing that I have not seen from AK yet, that he is willing to do that number of deals, right, to kind of all piece it together. It seems like he's really tied to this core. Now, I will say this. If the Zach LaVine trade, if we get pieces back, you never know. That could really open up to do some other things, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Your birthday is a week and a half. Yeah, my birthday, that's crazy. It is. That's wild. I'm old, though. It is what it is. LaMelo Ball and Gordon Hayward for Zach LaVine, they're not going to do that. If they trade for Zach LaVine, they're going to want to add to LaMelo Ball. They're not doing that to get rid of LaMelo Ball. They're trying to actually, because again, much like the Chicago Bulls, the Charlotte Hornets are not free agent destination. So they trade. They're not going to trade LaMelo Ball. That's why I also think they're not going to give up Brandon Miller in that type of deal. But yo, Haize, rumor around is the owner Michael that's tired of Zach, not AK. Zach and AK have a good relationship. I didn't say anybody's tired for Zach though. It's not this situation has nothing to do with anybody being tired of Zach. Yes, I've heard it. I reported it here. I was one of the first people to say that. It's not that he's tired of Zach. That Michael Reinsdorf has never been a huge fan of Zach LaVine, but that has nothing to do with this. Zach LaVine requested a trade. It doesn't matter who else he's tight with. I believe he's tight with DeMar. It has nothing to do with that. Zach LaVine wants to win. This Bulls team is not in a position to win right now. Louise says, good evening. I'm an OKC fan. I admire and really like the Chicago Bulls. I always follow your channel, and I want to congratulate you on your work. Good luck to our teams today. A hug. Well, first off, thank you for giving me a hug. I appreciate it. Nobody really hugs me anymore, and physical contact is my love. I'm just playing. I'm just being dramatic at this point. But listen, here's what I'll say to you on this one. Thank you for congratulating me on my work. The one thing that I'm never is a blind Chicago Bulls fan, and I can always acknowledge how good other teams are, even when they face my team. And the OKC Thunder are just built right. This just is, and they have an amazing coach. And I mean, I would love for Mike Dangold to be the coach of the Chicago Bulls. I would love it. I actually wouldn't be opposed to the Bulls going for LaMelo. He's playing really well, but doubt it. Yeah, I doubt that that's the case too. Frederick says, bro, if Zach don't want to be here, let his ass go. It's not like he brought winning in here. I'll take the Tyler Hero. Oh, no, that's a bad trade. That's a bad trade. Unless the Miami Heat are giving up more than what was rumored they would be willing to. How come you don't want to trade, though, Haize? I think he moves the needle and makes others better with his playmaking, scoring ability, and he's a Billy type of point guard as well. Because Trae Young is terrible. Not at overall the game of basketball, but you're talking about trading a player in Zach LaVine who does some of those things, but Trae Young is even worse. of a defender. And so, and having DeMar, having Vooch on this team, and Trae Young as your point, that's god awful basketball. Now, there's ones could say that maybe they make other pieces off the core. I'm just not a big Trae Young guy. I think Trae definitely does things on the stat sheet that makes it seem, but you have to cover up for so much of Trae Young's flaws. And in crunch time as well, I'm good on Trae. Why do you go from what? Why do you get worse? Why the fuck would we want Chris Paul? And I'm not going off on you, Juan, you fan, but I'm just saying, why the fuck would we want Chris Paul? Stop trying to give Zach LaVine away for nothing. We don't want Chris Paul and his bad hips over here. What the hell? Why would we do that? What's up, Haize? What do you think the Bulls must get back in the Zach LaVine trade for you to feel like we are getting good value back? Is it the first rounds or the young talent to build around? It depends on which young talent it is. That's why I say, like, the Spurs can offer a nice mix of both. They can offer young talent that has been coached well, things like that. They also have a bevy of first-round picks, and they have our own protection on our first-round pick in 2025. But it really comes down to getting the right mix of those things. There's a world in which you get some solid young talent back, but those draft picks have the potential to be high lottery picks, and then that would bring more value. Or you can get 2 first-round picks, but those picks project to be between 20 and 25, so they're not really much of shit, and then you want even higher young talent on it. So it really depends on it. But this is the problem, owners in the way, again, just like the Bears ownership with Chicago sports, they don't listen to the players that know. But see, that's not the situation. The Reinsdorfs don't do anything with the Chicago Bulls day to day. They have nothing to do with the Bulls day to day. Ownership is not getting involved in this situation with Zach at all. If ownership was involved in it, they would have never gave Zach LaVine the max. So no, ownership has nothing. They aren't getting in the way. Ownership has nothing to do with this Zach LaVine situation. Nothing. Honestly, one of the best pregame thumbnail you made, Haize. That's funny. I don't even know what this stuff. What is this one? Is that the red and white one? Glad you enjoyed. Who would you trade Zach for? Listen, I don't have a bunch. I'm not a trade machine guy. That's just not me. It's not me. There's some players I'd be interested in, like the Spurs. There's a lot of players I'd be interested in the Spurs. A lot. Even the rumored Charlotte Hornets interest, even outside of Brandon Miller, there's some players that I actually absolutely would be interested in on that roster too. It just comes down to, like I said, getting the right mix of things and setting yourself up. The Bulls have to win this Zach LaVine trade. Good night, Haize. We need Patrick to show out tonight. That one of the ball demanding is out. He needs to prove his worth. I mean, the last time DeMar DeRozan was out, what did Patrick Williams do? We got it. Like, it's not all of a sudden going to click for Patrick Williams where he's just showing us everything that we wanted to see. It's not there. It's not there. Like, and you guys know, I don't know if you saw the video or not, but I dropped the video. I'm over the potential of Patrick Williams until he shows it consistently. So if he comes in and shows it, cool, more power to him. But until it's shown and done consistently, I don't give a flying fuck about the potential that Patrick Williams has or who he can be. At the time, I feel the front office was backed into a corner into signing Zach with that deal. No, they weren't backed into a corner. It just made more sense. There was nothing smarter than signing Zach LaVine at that point in time. You do not let a talent like Zach LaVine walk for free. Keep in mind, even with how things have gone, even with him asking for a trade, you're still getting assets back. Had you let him walk away for nothing, that would have been the stupidest thing that you could have done with a talent like Zach LaVine that was 26 at that time. So, no, they weren't backed into a corner. It just made the most sense. Bro, y'all got a good podcast. What do you think Zach's worth is really out there? He has a 15% trade kicker. That means he'll be getting 50 plus a year. Well, the trade kicker he won't be getting 50 plus a year. But also the trade kicker is just for that 1 year, and the Bulls have to pay that. So the other team that he's being traded to doesn't have to worry about the trade kicker at all because the Chicago Bulls have to pay the difference in that trade kicker. So that's a little explanation on the trade kicker. Yes, he has a 15% trade kicker, but the Bulls are the one that pay that, not the opposing teams. So keep that in mind. What up, Haize? This is Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls. Hope your night is going well before this game. It's going mostly all right. I'm okay. I'm just ready to see what this team's going to be. If they're going to get their ass kicked, let's get it over with so we can go about our business, get to the holiday. Like, that's just is like you would put a Chicago Bulls game before a holiday in a year where the Chicago Bulls end up sucking ass. Like, it's crazy. It's wild, bro. Like, this is what it is, man. But we'll see. We'll see. Haize, what you want THT on the team? Look, he's not an all-star, but at the same time, he's about 21 years old and has a lot of potential. I mean, would I want him on the team? I guess it depends on the makeup of the team. Like you can you just asking, hey, a player, do you want them here? I mean, cool. I mean, he's all right, but like, I don't know. Like you got to give me more than that. Like, okay, do you want THT on the team? Okay, I guess. Nice in the building says thumbnail looks clean and official. Appreciate that, Brody. Oh, I see. I came into the keys, ask Haize about Bass Trade episode. Hey, man, that's it. It's part of the job, bro. Part of the job. You think Billy will probably get fired? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't think Billy's going to get fired. I'm gonna cry laughing when y'all bitching how bad these Bulls are gonna be once Zach is finally traded. Y'all wanted this shit. That's you know what's weird too that I will say and that I've noticed about people. I haven't called anyone out, but a lot of the same people that were saying, "Oh, Zach LaVine shouldn't have got the max. You shouldn't have re-signed him," are now like, "Oh, the franchise is trying to." There's it's a smear campaign against Zach LaVine. It's like you were the nigga. You was the one smearing. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? Fans, trade everyone. I'm tired of losing. Same fans when we're in the rebuild and winning 15 games a season. All I'm over this shit. Tough year with the semi-weak draft class for next year too. Yes, the draft class next year isn't projected to be amazing, right? But like I said, you just got to do your research, right? And hopefully the Bulls are really drafting heavy because this is one of the years that they have their own draft pick outright. Because listen, Tyrese Halliburton came in what was supposed to be a weak draft, and while that draft was pretty weak, look who was there that people wouldn't expect it. So you have to do your research extremely well to find a guy. So hopefully the Bulls can. JD8 said tonight we're the turkey about to get stuffed. That's hilarious. Are you at the strip club, JDH? You at the strip club, bro? Cover this at the start of the show. Sure, you covered it. Zach is out. Does that mean anything more? No, he's just out. No trade is imminent now. Period. Thule says you supposed to say yes, bro. We got to speak shit into existence. Listen, I'm a realist. I ain't that speaking shit into existence shit is for people that's more hopeful that ain't seen this goddamn hasn't been a Chicago sports fan their whole entire life. The real Bando says I don't want nobody here who don't want to be here with the exception of Billy. He can go whether he wants to stay or not. That's hilarious. That's funny. Archangel says, teach me to tune in late. Zach's not playing. Breaking news, 23 minutes late. I'm totally out of the loop. Hey, there's a lot of people who don't know. It is what it is, Archangel, but we're glad to have you in the building. Let's see. Once the Bulls announce the starting lineup, though, I'm out. I'm going to let y'all know right now. And for those that don't know, Zach LaVine is out with right foot soreness, I think is what they quoted. JDH, that's hilarious. As May said, Brody eating turkey and stripper ass in the club. Like, what we doing? Hey, that's JDH's. He's in his mode. He's in the zone right now. Oh yeah. Last week I checked to see if I was a member after all these years, and I wasn't. I am now, little bro. I appreciate you, Spicy Butter. I got to get some content on the members only tab too. What y'all mean? We're going to trade Zach and DeMar for KD and Book. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's funny. Why is Zach out? And we will watch this game. Will in this game. He's out with right foot soreness. He broke off his foot in somebody's ass apparently. So it is what it is. Allen says, Haize, I've been through a lot of trades up and downs with this franchise. I'm here to say these fans really don't want to rebuild. Listen, a lot of people say go rebuild, blow it all up, but they don't really know what that comes with. Because I tell you what, for the people that have been acting like the last 2 years have been the worst time as Bulls fans, it's like for those of us that have been around a little bit longer, it's like this barely scratches the surface of worst Bulls seasons. I was telling, who was I talking to about that? Maybe it was Pat before we started recording Locked On Bulls the other day. I literally was like, yeah, bro, it's so funny. Like, people are acting like this is like DEFCON 0. And I'm like, this ain't even in the top 10 worst seasons that the Bulls have had. It's just not. Now, I will say it's one of the weirdest trade scenarios. I don't think we've ever been this early into the season where a player that was under contract has requested a trade, and now we're scrambling to figure something out by December 15th. But I think other than that, like, this ain't shit. Like, we've had seasons where we started off 2-18. Like, come on now. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. DMG says, who do you have starting over Zach in tonight's game? I would like to see Javon or Io get the start since we haven't them in starting lineup this year yet. Like I said earlier, DMG, I think that there's a likely scenario where AC just moves up and then either Patrick Williams or Torrey Craig starts at the 4. That's what I think, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. He hurt his foot walking off after that went. That's hilarious. That's a funny joke. Wait, so trading Zach for a 21-year-old Michael Jordan isn't happening? Shit. Hey, bro, listen, you can make that happen on 2K. It ain't happening in real life. Haize, I need help. What help do you need? I can only do so much from this side of the screen, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I can send help. Where you at? Wink twice. We can send the cops to you if need be, brother. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know. Dreams are a reality. I don't think anybody's blaming this bull situation all on one person, but I think that this situation has got to the point where Zach LaVine asked for a trade, and that's just what it is. I don't think anybody thinks that this team their only problem is Zach LaVine. If they do, then they're just not paying attention. Motherfuckers don't understand that go rebuild and blow it all up comes with Denzel Valentine being the face here. Listen here, bro. That's why when people are like, well, Zach LaVine didn't win early in his career, I'm like, look at who the hell he was out there with. You had Denzel Valentine who had more gums than points scored. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Maybe that should have been a prelude. We should have known that we were going to get a coach that only liked to chew gum because we had a player that 90% of his face was gums. Something like that. Haize, I've been catching every Locked On Bulls. You and Pat chemistry unmatched. Love the show. Much love. Thank you, Tay Allen said. We had to work on that. The chemistry had to build because the Bulls have drove me. Oh, the Bulls have driven you crazy. Listen, like I said, this ain't even the worst, bro. This ain't even the worst. If the owners don't want to fire Billy, we're going to send somebody to pull Billy Carr on cinder blocks until he leaves. Damn. Okay. Well. Now, a lot of people blaming Zach and Zach. Oh, well, those people are retarded then. Like, it's just, I got to stop saying that word on YouTube. Like, I don't know why I can't, but a lot of y'all are remedial as hell. I'm just going to be real. A lot of y'all are remedial. But it is what it is. It's just like, listen, black women are queens. Absolutely. Black women are queens. Amazing, but some of the queens are hoes. Like, it's just like that. I love you guys. Bulls fans are amazing, but some of the amazing fans are dumbasses. Like, it just goes hand in hand. No, on a serious note, we passed up so many people in the 2020 and 22 draft. It is hurting my soul. Hey, listen, the woulda, coulda, shouldas would lead us into a crazy place. Crazy place. I can't believe this team let me down 2 years in a row. Never mind 7 years in a row. Never mind 16 years in a row. When was the last time we won a chip? That was the last time. Well, we've had good teams between now and then. Like, let's be clear here, man. Yeah, but we have a better roster now than we did when we were 5 and 10. I mean, yeah, we got a better roster, but a worse coach. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, but here's the thing, though. Like, it's the hope too. Like, when you have a bad roster and your shit is, your shit is in the pitch. It's like we don't see no way out of it. We got a solid roster. I do think that this team can play much better and we can have it better, but there was no hope back then. Unless you had a hope that Denzel Valentine was going to all of a sudden turn into a basketball player. He would still be in the league if he didn't take that shot. That's hilarious, man. That's funny. Antoine Johnson in the building says, I'm just coming into the chat. I see Zach is out. Is this a sign of them sitting him out until his trade Haize? No, I don't think so. I don't get that feeling, but hey, maybe. They leave Zach in the corner. He don't get the ball. I've seen them do it to Vooch too. They're discombobulated. Well, Zach LaVine actually has been doing a lot of the ball handling. You got to look at his assist numbers. The last few games, handful of games, he's actually been doing a lot of ball handling. He just hasn't been taking shots, but he talked about that. Like he's trying to find the right shots and get his teammates involved. So one day we're going to get us a team as consistent as you, bro. We appreciate you. Thank you for that, Super Duper Danko. And thank you for the super chat. Here's what I'll say. If the Bulls can get a team that's as consistent as me, we win in 7 titles in a row. By the way, 901 days straight of doing Chicago Bulls Central, by the way. So, yeah, I appreciate all the love. But yeah, it is what it is. The 901 days, that's crazy. That's crazy. Great point from Steve Alexander here. Says the individual players are better, but the team is not. That's a great point. Great point there. I just don't see how we can't win when we got 3 All-Stars. Bliss, Billy Donovan sucks, bro. Listen, we don't have 3 All-Stars. We listen, Vooch hasn't been an all-star since he got here. Zach LaVine's only been an all-star 2 times in his career. And DeMar DeRozan, yes, he's been an all-star, but ain't none of these motherfuckers making an all-star game this year. So it is what it is, man. What if AK want to fire Billy, but Michael's saying no because of the extension the Bulls don't fire nobody during the season? I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. That literally wouldn't surprise me at all. Brazil Popular says 99 days to 1K. Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, and Steve O's in here. This is the first time he's hearing about. I'm pushing to episode 1000. I'm going to be able to say that I made it 1,000 straight days and episodes without missing a day, and then I'm taking 3 days off. I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm taking 3 days off. It's going to be Steve O's channel for 3 days. You'll still get your content, but I'd be able to say I made it to 1,000 days straight of doing Chicago Bulls Central. I am taking 3 days off. Don't ask me. You ain't got to be surprised about it. You heard it now. So when we do the episode 1000 celebration, just know you will not see me for 3 days afterwards. You're not. You're not. The only place you're going to see me is my face is going to be in some titties. That's it. That's all. That's it. I'm not doing nothing. Titties and bourbon. That's all I want to see at that point in time. I am taking 3 days off. And I'm giving the reins to Steve-O. It's his channel for 3 days. He can do whatever the hell he wants to for 3 days. He can turn it to goddamn Golden State Warriors Central for 3 days. I don't care. But once I make it to 1,000 days straight, I need those 3 days off. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if the Bulls are in the finals. I don't give a shit. Now, if the Bulls are in the finals, we're not taking 3 days off. But once we get to 1,000 episodes straight, I'm taking 3 days off. So you got me for 99 more days in a row. At that point in time, I am taking 3 days off. That's it. 3 days. That's it. I'm done. I'm gone for 3 days. I don't exist. I ain't going to be on social media. I ain't posting no pre-records. I ain't doing none of that shit. I don't give a damn. I am gone for 3 days once we reach episode 1000. So there you go. That's it. That's it. I'm taking off. That's it. You ain't got to worry about it. That's it. You don't have to worry about it. You will not see me for 3 days. I promise you. 3 days. That's it. I'm gone. I'm gone. We already got episode 1000 planned. We'll be doing it as a squad. You'll have the whole Chi-Town Sports Central. We'll be doing a episode 1000 celebration. But after that, you will not see me for 3 days. So just be prepared. Be prepared. We don't have 3 all-stars. We have 3 motherfuckers. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. Bourbon, Kentucky straight, wild turkey. You really talking my language. Bourbon. What do I have now? Bluegrass is the type of bourbon that I have right now. I also like Woodford. Um, Woodford Reserve is one that I like a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Only 3 days. That's all I need. Just 3 days. That's it. 3 days. That's all I need. Haize, you just made me realize how much work you put in. Thanks for the inspiration, bro. I appreciate you, MC Season. Like I said, I'm not a lazy creative either. Like I EQ everything, I edit everything myself, every thumbnail, every detail. I color grade my videos when I'm not live. Like I actually shoot and log that which looks ugly, and then I make the videos pop. Matter of fact, if y'all want to see it, I can show you real quick. This is what I actually shoot in. Hold on, I'm gonna take a break real quick. Give me 1 second. So when I shoot my videos, this is what it looks like. And then I go into my editor and I make all the colors pop. I'm not a normal creative. I don't just turn the camera on and go. This is how I shoot. This is how they shoot films. So when you see films, they shoot like this. It's called log. And then you bring out the colors. That's why you're able to have like a color palette and shit like that. This is how I record my videos. So when y'all see my pre-recorded videos and those colors look like this, like that's work. I'm putting in work, my guys, work. So yeah, when people ask like why my videos look so crisp, it's because I film my shit on an actual camera that they use to make movies, and I got to do more goddamn work. But it's a labor of love. So there you go. There you go. Got some bull swag on sale, but I felt guilty supporting the team for the way I've listen. You got to get it while it's on sale. By the way, did they announce the starting lineup yet? Let's take a look. I just been over here ranting. Starting lineup still ain't out yet. Let's see. We have 3 all-star level players, but they ain't playing like all-stars. When they do, the other 2 usually don't. It's rare that all 3 play up to the potential at the same time. Well, I think we also got to realize that DeMar and Zach are getting older, and I don't know if they're going to consistently be all-star players anymore. So Archangel says, you got a rough vacation schedule, Haize. 3 days off after 1,000 days work. You need a labor lawyer to sue yourself. That's all I need. That's all I need. That is all I need. Bathlord Payne says, F-Log gang, color grade squad. Yeah, listen, I record in V-Log, but yeah, you got it. You got to, man. You got to. Bullet Bourbon, I like Bullet Rye. If Bullet Rye is the one that I like of them, I definitely like that. That's wild. Yeah. Otis, listen, first of all, you got named Otis. The only thing that don't nobody cared about was you. Your parents literally looked at you and said, what's the most ugly name that we can give somebody? And they named you Otis. They named you Otis. Like, let's be clear here, bro. Chill out. Chill out. You can become a victim real quick. Real quick. 3 days, that ain't enough. That's funny. Listen, that's it. That's it. It's just 3 days off. That's it. 3 days off. That's all I need. That's all I need. R.I.P. Otis. I understand when people come in here and they mad at life. Like, I don't get me wrong. If my mom, like your parents might as well have named you Ashford. Like, they named you Otis, bro. Otis. Like, let's be clear here. Exactly. Ain't nobody come here to see you, Otis. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And that's what they said to him the day he was born. Like, ain't nobody even came to see you on the day that you were born. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. If we win tonight, Twitter will erupt. LOL, Zach is going to get so much shade. Oh, man. If the Bulls do win tonight, considering how they got their ass kicked in that first game of the season, yeah. That's going to be tough. Bro, oh, this type of name, that motherfucker sounds like a cartoon name. That's funny. It's hard to keep Zach on my fantasy team. Pause. That's funny. That's not even really a pause moment, bro. That's not a pause moment. Damn, he was just named after his great uncle Haize Jesus. That's funny. That's funny. Kidnap you from your, first of all, podcast is all one word. Oh, this is bad enough that you're already struggling in the name front. There's all the names in the world and you can't even spell podcast. Like, you say it like a fucking idiot. Like, come on, bro. You ain't gonna the only thing you need to kidnap is an elementary school fucking English language book to help you learn how to spell. Come on, bro. It's bad for you out here, man. It's bad for you. I understand, bro. It sucks, man. It sucks when your mama was making fried bologna sandwiches and that was the gourmet meal in your house. I understand that, bro. Poverty doesn't look good on you, man. It doesn't look good on you. It's crazy. Poverty does not look good on you, bro. It's wild, man. All right, we got the starting lineup out yet? Yeah, what? That's weird how they got it. Patrick Williams is in the starting lineup. They technically, are they listing Patrick Williams as the shooting? That's stupid. That's wild. That's wild. Maybe Otis was born in the elevator. It could happen. That's hilarious. That's funny. Wait. Hold on. Wait a second. Your name isn't, you could have chosen any name for your username and you chose Otis? Oh, bro, you're dumb. You just made it even worse. So we can't even blame your dumb ass mammy. You chose to be called Otis. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. That's real crazy, man. Like, it's wild. Like, this is what happens when you don't care about your kids, people. When you don't care about your children, they decide to call themselves Otis. That's crazy, bro. Like, you just know. You know Otis sucks dick from the back. You just know, like he sucked dick for Dasani water bottles. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's wild, man. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. Coming in here trying to get attention from grown men. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. Otis chose that for himself. He chose that for himself. That's crazy, bro. You didn't even have to choose that life. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. This man Otis out here sucking dick for Deja Blue, bro. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, so the lineup is Patrick Williams in the starting lineup. Everything else is the same. So Zach LaVine's out. Patrick Williams in the starting lineup. So it's Kobe White, Patrick Williams, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, and Nikola Vucevic. So. Oh, this sound like he was born in the deep south in 1950s. That's crazy, bro. That's wild, man. That's crazy. Otis was born in a brothel. He was a brothel baby. That's deep, man. That's deep. But all right, y'all, man. I appreciate you guys so much, man. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. I said I'll be out after the lineup was announced. I'll be back at halftime. Make sure you guys are right here, tuned in for halftime. I love you guys, man. Go Bulls. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.